In the top stories, Nevis arm of Cannabis Youth Treatment Program launched. National Disaster Coordinator outlines plans to welcome St. Vincent evacuees, and Ross University donates to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The details on these stories and more after the break.
In your formative years, we were there. When you got the good news and the bad, we were right there with you. Through all your great adventures, we were always right by your side. Now that life has thrown us a curveball, we are still here. And as we navigate this difficult period, the SKCCU will continue to be there for you and your family to help you through. We will assist you in safely and efficiently accessing your funds through our digital platforms, online banking, mobile banking, ATMs, and even our drive-through services. We can get through this together with responsible financial decisions by making food and medication a priority, practicing proper hygiene, maintaining social distancing, and constant prayer.
We're here for you.
We're still here.
We will get through this together.
SKCCU will continue to be your financial partner for life.
Use BioCare Lab Strong Ends products to supercharge your hair with deep lasting hydration from nature's most amazing moisturizers, raw moisturizing honey, and conditioning shea butter. These ingredients pull moisture from the hair to boost, strengthen, and restore the oldest and weakest parts of your hair, your ends, helping to keep them stronger. Wow, beautiful hair. Strong Ends. Dry, damaged, breaking hair and no hair growth? Strong ends? Whoa! I'm not cutting this hair for anything. Weak, thinning edges due to weaves and braids. Strong ends? Longer and free of split ends. Get supercharged from roots to end with BioCare Lab Strong Ends Honey and Shea Butter Infused Relaxer and Hair Growth Product. Available retail at CNC Superfoods on the Bay Road and wholesale at CNC Trading on the CAP Southwell Industrial Park. Telephone 465-4081.
Trustworthy, secure, reliable, and responsive. These are just some of the words customers use to describe their experience with the Bank of Nevis Limited. And after 35 years of delivering excellent customer service and honoring our corporate social responsibilities in the island of Nevis, we are finally coming to St. Kitts. Come and experience why we're not just another option. We are the standard. Bond strong.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Berridge. The National Drug Council has expanded its Cannabis Youth Treatment Program to Nevis with its launch on Monday morning. Following the launch, guidance counselors, child protection officers, and other youth workers were engaged in a one-day training session with facilitator Zara Jacobs, counselor at New Horizon Rehabilitation Center. Mervyn Thompson has the details.
We're here at the Jessups Community Center in Nevis, and with me is Mrs. Karimu Byron Keynes. She's the director of the National Council on Drug Abuse Prevention, and moments ago she would have launched the Cannabis Youth Treatment Program in Nevis.
So the Cannabis Youth Treatment Program is a psychosocial educational
program that addresses substance, in particular marijuana use and abuse amongst our adolescents. So we are looking at our school age, high schoolers. We are looking at persons who are attached to the Child Protection Office, social services, who work very closely with young persons. And so this is a 5-week session program that addresses things such as goal setting, refusal skills, somewhat managing and being aware of your social support system, as well as coping mechanism when life becomes a bit challenging. So that would have been 4, but we actually have one session where they would be focusing on developing rapport and getting a background of each of the participants in this program. And so we hope that by training our frontline workers, that they will then implement the lessons taught to somewhat address the challenges that we're seeing now with marijuana abuse and misuse among our secondary school children.
Now, with talk of cannabis legalization or decriminalization, this might pose a bit of confusion for the adolescents, and they might even have it at home where their parents allow them to use it. How would this program aim to, I guess, help them to cope with this or to prevent the confusion?
As a result of the number of discussions we've been hearing about the legal reform as it relates to marijuana, following that, on an ad hoc basis, we would have received numerous calls from principals, mental health officers, addressing their concerns with the spike in marijuana use amongst their young people. And so we realized that education was important, being knowledgeable of the legal reform. And we hope that those who are trained and are educated here in Nevis and previously in St. Kitts, that they would take the message out to those that they serve to better educate. This is not something that we are encouraging, nor the law is encouraging for persons under the age of 18 as yet. It's not free for all, as many persons would say. There's still some limitations to it. And so we hope through this training, not only will they be educated about the actual extent of the legal reform, but as well we will be addressing those psychosocial issues that they are often faced with that leads to substance misuse and abuse.
Thank you so very much. That was Mrs. Karimu Byron Keynes, Director of the National Drug Council. The participants will have sit-down sessions with guidance counselors and child services probation officers for 1 to 2 hours over the course of the 5-week program, with the goal of enabling them to make better choices in relation to the use and subsequent misuse of cannabis. Reporting for ZIZ News, I'm Mervan Thompson.
As the Federation puts plans in motion to welcome up to 300 displaced persons from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, National Disaster Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, Abdias Samuel, says they are approaching the initiative in a structured, methodical manner. In an interview with ZIZ News, Mr. Samuel said 7 persons have already shown interest in coming to St. Kitts and Nevis, so a committee has been activated to formalize the process for those persons to enter the Federation.
We would have spent significant time putting together the committee that was approved by the federal cabinet and having the committee operationalized in getting the plan together so that we can start to take in these individuals from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So it's not a free-for-all type of approach. It's going to be properly managed. It's going to be well structured and methodical in the way persons access this particular service from St. Kitts and Nevis.
He said the Federation would be welcoming the evacuees in small groups using guidelines set out by the COVID protocols.
In St. Kitts and Nevis, we have agreed that we will take them in batches of 50, and we are using the science of the number of persons that at an average that we receive on the aircraft or airlines, the jets coming from the United States of America. The average is about 50 to 60, so there is a mechanism in place that if they come by air, we can process them through the airport using the existing mechanisms.
He said the visitors would be quarantined and tested over a 2-week period. They would also be monitored and evaluated to identify any challenges they may be experiencing during the move that may require an intervention from the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There is no date set as yet for the first group of displaced persons to arrive. Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine, RUSVM, recently joined the Federation's national response through National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to provide aid and relief to the people of St. Vincent. RUSVM Dean Sean Callanan said his staff provided cases of drinking water, personal hygiene items, cleaning supplies and bleach, and pet food for dogs and cats, approximating some $18,900. The external logistics for the humanitarian relief effort were coordinated by CDEMA, Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, in connection with tropical shipping. Up to rollout vaccination campaign continues. We now take a look at the latest vaccination report. After the break, Governor General proclaims days for Administrative Professionals Day and Week 2021 and wanted poster issued for Heriberto Lorenzo. Stay with us.
Everything's gotta go! Horsford's Automotive, everything gotta go! Clearance sale is happening now! All 2018, 2019, and 2020 models gotta go! Yes! Come to Horsford's Automotive and get $10,000 off select 2020 models! That's right! Horsford's Automotive is making room for 2021 by offering $10,000 off select 2020 models! And that's not all! Come now and get 0% down payment! No payment until May 2021! $500 in free groceries, free servicing for 1 year, free bill of sale, free tinting, free registration, free accessories, and free licensing. Horsford's Automotive, everything gotta go clearance sale. The biggest clearance sale event of the year. Select 2020 vehicles, price to go. Everything gotta go. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. The following is a press release from Government House. His Excellency the Governor General Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, GCMG CVO QCJP LLD, acting in accordance with the advice of Cabinet, has proclaimed 18th April 2021 to 24th April 2021 to be observed as Administrative Professionals Week and Wednesday 21st April 2021 as Administrative Professionals Day. This year's Administrative Professionals Week and Day are being commemorated under the theme, I Am Enough, Transitioning into a New Era, in celebration of the essential contribution of administrative professionals in coordinating the office operations of businesses, government, educational institutions, and other organizations. This day and week are observed annually in workplaces around the world and is sponsored by the International Association of Administration Professionals, IAAP. The police have issued a wanted poster for Heriberto Lorenzo, who is currently wanted by the police for the offense of wounding. According to the poster, a warrant exists for the arrest of Heriberto Lorenzo, who was born in the Dominican Republic but lives in Newtown, Bastia. 28-year-old Lorenzo is fair in complexion with black hair and brown eyes. He is 5 feet 10 inches tall and medium in build. Heriberto Lorenzo is asked to present himself to the nearest police station. Anyone who sees him or knows of his whereabouts is asked to contact the Bastia Police Station at 465-2241, the nearest police station, or call the crime hotline at 707. All information shared will be treated as confidential. Products labeling contains extremely useful information. However, it is often overlooked completely by some consumers, while others may read but not fully understand the information provided on labels. On a recent edition of Working for You, officials from the Department of Consumer Affairs highlighted the value of labeling and implored customers to carefully read all labels when purchasing items. Senior Consumer Affairs Officer Trista Wasley-Stennett said that companies present attractive pictures on their products that may serve as a distraction.
You have to read what is behind the picture, what is next to the picture. You have to always keep reading to know if it is healthy for you, if it is important to you, if you're allergic to the item, and of course, if the item is valid, if it is good or it is expired.
Director of Consumer Affairs Paul Quilly helped to clarify some labels that frequently puzzle consumers. They are Best By, Sell By, Best Before, and Expired. As it relates to Best Before, Mr. Quilly stated that this relates specifically to freshness. The product is still usable, but the quality is slightly reduced.
Expired, of course, is expired. You should not eat it, especially if it is an item containing milk, because you could end up in the hospital or you could even die.
The director noted that the sell-by and use-by labels are store-related and refer to stock turnover rather than product freshness. And finally, on the local scene, staff and students of the Cayon High School were the recipients of 500 face masks through a donation made by the Cayon High Alumni and Mentorship Program for Students, CHAMPS, at a handing over ceremony at the school on Monday. Acting President of CHAMPS, Dave Brown, said the association wanted to assist in the protection of students of the Cayon High School.
We, as members of CHAMPS, we donated 500 masks to the Cayon High School for all the students and staff. As we were told, there were just about 300 plus students, so we included the staff as well. After looking at the whole situation with the COVID, we decided we'd protect all the kids, so we went out and got a design that was threefold. So it's a very protective mask, 3 different layers. So the virus literally cannot penetrate as a result of those 3 different layers. And at the same time, it's very light and quite breathable as well.
He said the donation forms part of the work CHAMPS has been doing to assist in the betterment of the Cayon High School.
So we have been doing a number of things so far with the Cayon High School. Like just about a year ago, we provided a fridge and 2 stoves for the Cayon High School. We have been giving gifts. We established a scholarship program for best results of the year. Well, not necessarily best result, but the candidate that we select to be the best on a wider basis with respect to their results, their community efforts, and throughout their school life per se. So it's a number of things we're involved with as CHAMPS with the Cayon High School. So this was just another addition.
Mr. Brown said CHAMPS intends to implement a mentorship program within the school that will be available to all CHS students. Coming up in regional news, we have an update on the La Soufrière volcano. The details when we come back.
Everything's gotta go! Horsford's Automotive, everything gotta go! Clearance sale is happening now! All 2018, 2019, and 2020 models gotta go! Yes! Come to Horsford's Automotive and get $10,000 off select 2020 models! That's right! Horsford's Automotive is making room for 2021 by offering $10,000 off select 2020 models! And that's not all! Come now and get 0% down payment! No payment until May 2021! $500 in free groceries, free servicing for 1 year, free bill of sale, free tinting, free registration, free accessories, and free licensing. Horsford's Automotive, everything gotta go clearance sale. The biggest clearance sale event of the year. Select 2020 vehicles, price to go. Everything gotta go. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details. It takes a village
to raise our children
into productive citizens
and progressive communities.
It takes a village
to provide support to our young people
who are going down the wrong path
and need family and community support.
It takes a village
to help our children who have made a mistake,
to take responsibility
and learn from their mistakes.
It takes a village
to actively help in the rehabilitation of our youth,
to assist them in being productive,
to reintegrate back into our communities.
It takes a village
to care about each other,
to lift up our children
and make them into better adults.
It takes a village to give our youths
a chance for change.
Join the movement
and give our children a chance for change.
This message is brought to you by the USAID OECS Juvenile Justice Reform Project 2, funded by the United States Agency for International Development. For more information, log on to oecs.org/JJRP.
And we're moving now to news on the regional scene. In an update on La Soufriere on Monday morning, lead scientist on the monitoring team, Professor Richard Robinson, said there appears to be a minor waning of its force. He said, however, this does not mean that the volcano is any less dangerous. Here's more.
It's still shaking a lot, that's why we have the earthquakes. But then these breaks, after these breaks, you tend to have an explosive event. These explosions so far have not been as vigorous as when the eruption started. They still create eruption plumes. They still have tremendous potential to produce pyroclasticos on the volcano itself. And because of the eruption plumes, they have the potential to put a lot of ash into areas which are occupied. Fortunately, the last set of them have actually gone towards the west, so that both Barbados and St. Vincent and Grenadines have not really had that much ash, if any.
Prof. Robinson told farmers that with help from the authorities, they can venture into the red zone to feed their animals. He was less than complimentary to someone who took video while standing on the ledge of the volcano.
People talk about bravery, and to me, somebody is brave when you're aware of the risk that you put yourself to, and because of because of your job or because of the need to contribute to society in a fundamental way, you still take the action, or you need to save your family or something like that. So you're aware of the risk. You know you could be killed or you know you could be hurt, but you still do it. That's a brave person. A brave person is not somebody who goes up to the mountain, who don't understand the risk, putting themselves and their parties at risk, and the people who might have to rescue them. That person is not brave. To me, that person is just simply dotish.
The scientist made it clear that people need to be brave to save their families at this time and not to risk life and limb in a show of bravado, which is counterproductive to the person, his associates, and those who might be inspired to try the same type of action.
Following the Caribbean Examination Council's decision to reduce the SBA requirements for this year's examinations by as much as 50%, Guyana's education minister is cautioning students not to become complacent in their level of preparedness. Amel Griffith reports.
The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, has cut down on the requirements for students' school-based assessments, SBAs, for the upcoming 2021 Caribbean Secondary Education Council, CSEC exams. According to the regional examination body, the decision is as a result of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and the recent eruptions of the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Responding to the news, Minister of Education Priya Maningchan gave an overview of what this change would translate to for students.
Subjects that have 17 SBAs, only 8 are required now. So I can't tell you generally because each subject has a different thing, but the SBA requirements, the number of SBAs that were required before have been significantly reduced.
According to the minister, this adjustment will be beneficial to many students who have not had enough time in the classroom and the laboratory to get their SBAs done.
The benefit generally is if you have less SBAs, it means you can do those that you have more perfectly. You have less contact time.
Regarding students' preparedness for the exams, she maintained that students locally are in a good place. However, she stated that as of last Friday, the ministry began a stringent monitoring process to avoid pitfalls experienced in 2020.
But we're back in the classroom for the CXC classes. There are many countries who have not done that as yet. And so we're in a pretty good place. We are presently, and that's the little obsessive thing I was talking about earlier, where we're getting a little obsessive about how we monitor these things.
According to the minister, the recent announcement from the CXC body reflects what the Ministry of Education has lobbied and agreed to during previous discussions over the last year. As part of the measures instituted by CXC, candidates have the option by May 1, 2021 to defer from the June-July 2021 examination cycle with no fees charged. This will be in place until the January 2022 or the May-June 2022 examinations cycle. For the first time, CXC will also accept SBA scores in January 2022 for 2021 deferred candidates. In addition, CXC will share the broad topics to be assessed on Paper 2 for CSEC and CAPE subjects on May 10, 2021. The minister reminded that the entire syllabus will be assessed on Paper 1. She warned students not to procrastinate given the measures put in place by the CXC body.
Paper 1 is going to be based on the entire syllabus. So don't wait for 5 weeks and say, okay, I'm going to study only these 6 topics in these 5 weeks. Paper 1, which is the multiple choice paper, is going to be based on the entire syllabus. Paper 2 is usually only about a few questions. They're going to tell us the broad topics of those questions.
Reporting for the HTP Nightly News, I'm El Griffith.
Coming up, Mars helicopter makes its first flight on Mars. We'll tell you more when we come back.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
I took the vaccine because I want the in-person audience experience at Sugar Mass 50.
I took the vaccine because I want to be performing with all my peoples on Ultra Truck this year for Cannabis.
I get vaccinated because I want to be on the road for Sugar Mass 50.
The reason I chose to be vaccinated because I'm a professional as an entertainer, plus to have a safer Boyton can.
I am DJ Flame and I got vaccinated because I want Sugar Mass 50 to be greater than ever.
I took the vaccine because I miss entertaining thousands of people and I miss hosting my own events. See you at Sugar Mass 50. Boom.
Get vaccinated quickly to turn up Sugar Mass 50.
Welcome back. After successfully test flying a mini helicopter on Mars, NASA is calling the flight a Wright brothers moment on the Red Planet. NBC's Tom Costello reports.
Celebration this morning at JPL Mission Control. Stunning images just coming in as NASA yet again pulls off the unbelievable, flying a 4-pound autonomous chopper, a drone really, on another planet. The rover Perseverance captured the entire flight, all 40 seconds of it, as it lifted off around 3:30 a.m. Eastern Time, climbing to an altitude of about 10 feet before settling back down again on the Martian surface. If all goes as planned, it's just the first of many flights to come.
We really want to push our vehicle to the limit. It's not every day that you get to test a rotorcraft and do an experiment on Mars. So after the third flight, just warning, we are going to be very adventurous.
NASA calls it a Wright brothers moment on Mars, and it's carrying a tiny piece of fabric from the original Wright brothers plane. After a 292 million mile journey, this tiny chopper had to delicately detach itself from the belly of the rover to stand on all 4 legs, then survive freezing nights up to negative 130 degrees Fahrenheit, heating itself with solar panels and internal heaters. And Ingenuity's onboard computer packs the power of a cell phone, but 150 times stronger than anything launched to another planet. Since it takes 12 minutes to communicate with Earth, Ingenuity must fly itself, making 500 calculations every second. The biggest challenge, the Martian atmosphere is only 1% the density of Earth's. So engineers designed 4 rotors that spin 5 times faster than a helicopter on Earth. The ultimate goal, use aircraft like Ingenuity to explore canyons, ice caps, and remote terrain before humans ever land on Mars. Engineer Mimi Ong heads up the Ingenuity team.
This must have been how the Wright brothers, must have felt. And I feel so humble to compare our team to the Wright brothers, but they really are, our role model.
This morning, one small drone flight, but a giant leap for aviation on another planet.
University authorities in England are up in arms because COVID-19 restrictions are still stopping face-to-face learning. Students who have been studying remotely since last December will not be allowed to return to campuses until shortly before the academic year ends. Al Jazeera's Andrew Simmons reports.
Hi girls, can you please wear your face mask?
They're doing all the right things to stay COVID secure. But while shops, hair salons and beer gardens may have reopened, university students can't get back to face-to-face lectures. They could return within a month, but it will be 3 weeks before the academic year ends for most of them.
We've got students out there who might be working in bars or working in leisure centres, but they can't come on campus to study. And we know that they do want to come on just to finish off the year and really meet their peers, colleagues, and get back into their education in the sort of more traditional way. Their first year at university or their graduation year. Those are years you can't get back.
Great to see you all here again.
Staffordshire University is doing better than most. 2/3 of its 12,000 students have been allowed to return for practical reasons.
You've got 999 on.
Health and social services are among a host of courses here. They're able to use immersive technology, for instance.
We will bring in a physical patient or mannequin patient into this environment.
Elsewhere, though, a mock courtroom remains empty. Law students are at home. Many politicians fear a spike of infections, similar to what happened when universities opened last September. But several surveys dispel that fear, one of them from the Office for National Statistics, which directly reports to the UK government. They estimate up to 3/4 of students have already returned to their accommodation. And there are some who have lived on campus throughout the pandemic. Chris Steers has only recently lifted himself out of depression.
I'm not going to lie, at the first I really struggled being on my own for most of the summer, not being able to see my family. It's tough.
Universities say too many students are suffering now because of government inaction. They say while schools have reopened, higher education is being stifled. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera, Stoke-on-Trent.
Up next in sports, National Bank Senior Basketball League results and breakaway football clubs launch new league. Stay with us.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
First up in sports, the National Bank Senior Basketball League continued on Saturday with 2 games. In the first game, Blueprint Construction St. Paul's totally outplayed Fire and Rescue Firestorm, defeating them 109-39. For St. Paul's, Nashawn Maynard scored 28 points, 21 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. George Gayton made 19 points, 4 assists, 2 steals. Domain Rollins, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. For Firestorm, Simba Hanley scored 16 points, 4 rebounds. Leroy Martin made 10 points and 4 rebounds. In the second game, ASC Wolfpack defeated Youth and Sports Eagles 81-74. For Wolfpack, Calbert Dorr scored 43 points, made 2 assists and 2 rebounds. Justin Hutton, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. For Eagles, Craig Angle scored 17 points, 3 rebounds, 4 steals. Fabian Forbes, 11 points, 5 rebounds. In Sunday's match, Ghetto Woods defeated Cayon Lions 100-79. The league continues on Tuesday with 2 games. At 6:30, Challengers Exodus versus Atiba Harris St. Peter's Runners. Then at 8:30, E&K Minimart Sandy Point Falcons versus FAMK Birdrock Uprisers. A group of 12 elite English, Spanish and Italian clubs have dramatically split European football by announcing the formation of a largely closed Super League. The clubs said on Sunday night they were leaving the existing UEFA-run Champions League structure, despite warnings they could be kicked out of their domestic competitions and face legal action. Al Jazeera's David Stokes reports.
Football's European governing body, UEFA, is under attack. 12 of the continent's biggest clubs have announced they're breaking away from the prestigious Champions League to form a rival European Super League. Barcelona, Real Madrid and Atletico have agreed to join from Spain. In Italy, both AC and Inter Milan have signed up alongside Juventus. And 6 clubs from England's Premier League also want a slice of the pie. Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal and Tottenham.
The owners of the club now want much more revenues for them. The pandemic obviously have exposed them too much, so they want much more money and they want it now.
So far, there are no teams from France or Germany, including the current European champions Bayern Munich. But 3 more clubs are expected to join the list of founding members, who are all set to pocket more than $400 million each just for signing up.
Seriously, in the midst of a pandemic, an economic crisis, football clubs at National League level going bust nearly, furloughing players, clubs on the edge in League 1 and 2, and these lot are having Zoom calls about breaking away and basically creating more greed. Joke.
The managers of these teams are now in an awkward position. Liverpool's Jurgen Klopp, for example, has previously spoken out against the idea of a Super League. Manchester United's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer dodged the question at his news conference on Sunday.
I don't think it's for me to comment on now. It's an issue. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
There was a similar defensive response from Atletico Madrid's coach Diego Simeone.
I'm just a manager, and I'm prepared to coach my players under any circumstances. I have no doubt that the club will decide what's best for ourselves.
The Super League clubs want to start as soon as possible, while still competing in their own national leagues. That seems unlikely though, given that the Premier League, La Liga and Serie A have all joined UEFA in condemning the move, saying they'll do whatever it takes to stop it. World governing body FIFA has also said that any players who take part will be barred from their major competitions, including the World Cup. 4,000 fans were allowed into Wembley for the FA Cup semi-final on Sunday, and some of them made their views clear on the Super League.
When you take a league and you make it a bit of a closed shop, it's just completely unfair.
It seems like a lot of the big boys don't like the idea of smaller clubs great crashing their party and taking away some of their revenue.
It's all money orientated and everything, load of coswallop.
UEFA's executive committee meets on Monday. The Super League announcement has no doubt added a few things to the agenda. David Stokes, Al Jazeera.
And that's it for sports. When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines.
The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris, wants to alert the public about fake Facebook and social media accounts that are circulating. These sites may look genuine, but they're not. These fake sites may use the Prime Minister's photo and name, but their only intention is to spread misinformation through false and scandalous information. Some of these pages are scams and will attempt to dupe you out of money. Do not trust them. You can find the real Prime Minister Harris on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching for his official handle, which is @PMHarrisKN. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages that claim to be the Prime Minister's but do not have PMHarrisKN right after the /, are fake accounts. These should be reported to the respective social media sites. You can also report fake social media accounts to presssec@gov.kn. That's PRESSEC@gov.kn. Facebook has verified Prime Minister Harris's official page by placing a white check mark inside a blue circle next to the Prime Minister's name, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris. This blue circle appears just above @PMHarrisKN. Also, be alert. If the person claiming to be either the Prime Minister or another government official asks you for money through instant messenger, direct message, or any other means, this is a scam and not a real charity. This public service announcement was produced in order to help you be an informed social media user. Protect yourself and help spread the message.
And we're wrapping up with a recap of the top stories. Nevis arm of Cannabis Youth Treatment Program launched. National Disaster Coordinator outlines plans to welcome St. Vincent evacuees. And Ross University donates to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that's the end of the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Berridge. Bye.